All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the pre-market prep. I hope everyone's having an amazing morning. Hope you had a great day yesterday. Good morning, Norm. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, buddy. I'm doing all right. How are you?
Doing good, man. Doing good. Can't
Good.
complain. All right, guys. Let's get into it. Let's look at our watch list yesterday. What we kind of had on the list here. We started off with Neo. I think Neo was trading very well in the pre-market yesterday. Probably one of the best pre-market actions that we had seen out of our entire list. And we did see. Yep. Oh, sorry, I thought I heard something, Norm. And we did choppy sound. Oh, that's what I'm hearing too. All right, let's
You
reset
refresh,
this.
I'll do my thing.
Yep. You two just bear with us 1 second here as we refresh our room. Get these guys some good quality audio. In the meantime, happy Thursday. And I know I got this right this time. So happy Thursday. First
What
day of
did
the
you call it?
month.
Did you call it something else? I didn't catch it. If you did.
Uh no, I called it Thursday. I was right this time.
Okay.
All right, so let's get the screen share up and running. Hopefully that sounds a lot better.
All right.
There it is. Like the
Good.
lottery sometimes with this browser here. All right, so we're good to go. So yeah, I was just talking about, happy Thursday, happy first day of the month here. Hopefully you closed out September very good. Let's make sure we start this month very strong. All right, guys. So Neo was just amazing yesterday. You got so many plays in here. I'm only looking at the 5 minute. If you look at the 1 minute, you're going to see some pretty good breakouts as well, and a nice pattern setting up in this first 10 minutes of the market open. But just look at the breakouts we had here. It's 2185. That was a very key level at the pre-market. Beautiful breakout here, almost with an engulfing pattern if you count the bar before the market open. Look at this drop here. Hits some of this moving average and then it takes off nicely, right? So beautiful play there. Comes back, pretty deep pullback towards the VWAP, and then another takeoff again, breaking the high of the day here. And then from there, it just becomes a beautiful, beautiful short, guys. Baba here as well. Baba impressed me, man. And the part about me that hates myself this morning is that I saw it building up, and for some reason I'm like, Baba's choppy. I'm not gonna take it. And that bias really hurt me on Baba yesterday. Look at this breakout, how clean it was. Look at the pullback. So this thing trade is so clean. I did not expect that out of this ticker yesterday, but man, was it nice to see. So hopefully you took advantage of that one. Very nice trade there right at the open. And then they continue. If you had an entry, any entry under 289, you were able to ride this out if you had the patience to do so. Here's MU. MU also a nice drop here, guys. Beautiful opening range breakdown on the 5. Good continuation for once. We have not been seeing that out of MU. That turned out pretty good here. Tries to get above the VWAP, cannot sustain above that for a long time. Another drop down to the low of the day and then some. So just MU, beautiful trading yesterday. We haven't seen that from MU in some time, so it's great to see that out of them. Here's SRNE. SRNE was again, it looks clean now, guys, but not the easiest stock to trade. It was a little bit choppy as far as the price action itself. It did settle down nicely though, and lost the low of the day here, and just gave you a beautiful continuation, but not easy to get into this trade. That's a short. Again, this stock was moving quite a bit yesterday, but beautiful drop all the way down to 1080. DKNG also had a beautiful daily and also traded very well. It started off a little rocky here with some big pullbacks and up and down here, a lot of big wicks around these moving averages. But once it settled down, you can see here about 9:45 or so, it starts trending up nicely towards the high of the day, then towards the high of the pre-market. And then once it breaks out from that, it's just there's no looking back here. It does test your entry here if you didn't get the better great entry at the bottom, close to that 57.12. You can see here you kind of get trying to get shaked out a little bit here, but it does continue nicely. So DK NG traded very well yesterday at the open. Does get choppy mid-morning, then rebounds again after 57.12. Again, that level being tested nicely here as support throughout the entire day. Here's Apple. Apple again. This was probably one of the best trading stocks. We had a lot yesterday. It's funny because yesterday when we were doing our watch list, Norm, we were looking at things. We were like, oh man, today could be a rough day. And some of these stocks
Yep.
traded really, really good. You had a lot
Yep.
of good
You
clean
never know.
opportunities. Yeah, you never know. It could look crappy and then it just turns around. Apple did that yesterday. Beautiful breakout. Look at the ABCD pattern on the 5 here, setting up nicely. Bull flag as well off this great pre-market high level. So you had a lot of that going on yesterday. It's 114.23. Look at the breakout here. Never looks back. And then again, just consolidates for the mid-morning like a lot of stocks did and gives you another pop here in the at noontime and also later in the day. So looking good this morning already, guys. I'm starting to see Apple moving nicely. Good volume, almost up 2%. And the CCL, they did get a pop here, but we had a lot of other stocks that were a lot cleaner. So that was yesterday, guys. A lot there, and that was just our main list. We had our possibles list as well. We're not going to get into BYD continuation. BA was great. Again, just a lot that was looking pretty good yesterday. With that said, let's go over to the SPY. I know with Market Pulse, I know we have some numbers that are out. Norm, what's the latest and greatest?
Yeah, man. So we just had unemployment claims for the week. They actually came in a little bit better than expected, and same thing with continuing jobless claims. So you remember last week that actually recently we've kind of had a little bit of surprise to the downside on those. These were roughly in line, and the continuing claims was I'd say it was a decent amount better than the previous weekend expectations. So, I kind of, all good. Hadn't really done much to the markets this morning. SPY is up almost a percentage point, which is a pretty huge gap up for the SPY on any normal basis. But I got to tell you, you got this economic calendar, and I hope this is correct because the site I usually use to pull this up is giving me information from April. So a number of things coming out today, and we'll see what happens with these big gap ups. These gaps are sometimes hard to trade when they're up this high.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. All right, guys, let's take a look at our list today. We have a lot on our gapping up list, as you can see here. So a lot in the green today. We'll take a look at some stuff here. I know some good ones. Me and Norm were talking before the show. BBBY might have some good stuff on there. We'll talk about that in a second. Then you got some other ones that are not looking all that great. PPL, STM is a foreign stock, so we'll get into that. And then a couple of in the red that are also not that great. A lot of lower flow stocks in the red this morning. So we'll check what's going on with those. All right, let's get to this list. Let's remove what did
Got a big list,
ITRM?
but it's a lot of
Yeah,
garbage.
we're gonna go through it pretty fast. ITRM, I'm just pulling this up now because I know we had this yesterday. I just want to talk about it a little bit. Again, guys, beautiful, very active pre-market action. Looking at it now after the fact, this is more of a penny stock, but look at the open. You got these holds happening right off the bat here. Movement about 20 cents, 30 cents or so. Plenty of holds here on the way down. Just be careful. This is why these stocks are so hard to trade. You get these small movements of 20, 30 cents, which is a lot for a stock sitting at 150. And you could be stuck in a bad situation if you get halted here and then you open up and you're down, a couple of $100. So just be mindful of that. We always say in the room after two halts, you want to be very careful in taking that trade because it can become very choppy and erratic trading there. Gapping up this morning. Let's start with AEL. This one, let's get our charts in line. Doesn't look great at all, guys. Looks almost like a low flow stock the way this thing is setting up here. But look at the volume on it right now, 270, but it's not trading all that well. Let's take a look at the daily. The daily also, for the most part, under 861,000 shares traded. So they're up huge today, but again, this is just does not fall into our strategies here. Let's go over to AMAC. Same thing, guys. A horrible pre-market action, up 39%, 200,000, very light on volume. So I'm looking at this volume bar down here. I want to see stocks that when they are in play, they get some good volume, right? So their biggest volume day here is about 2.9. So if you spread that out to the entire day, that's not really good for us and the type of strategies we're looking to trade here. So not on our list. Horrible pre-market action. On to the next one, which is probably the best one so far, is BBBY. And Norm, I
Probably
know
the
we have
best one
some
on the
news on
list, I
this.
would say.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they had earnings. They blew away estimates. They had the first comparable sales growth, comp store sales growth in 4 years. This has been a turnaround play. It's got an exceptionally high short float, 76% per TI. It's a little bit lower than that, but still exceptionally high at 61% on FinViz. that you got to wait for it to set up and see if it plays out. But whenever you have something where something's turned that much and that high of a short float, you have potential for a squeeze.
Yeah. So questions from OTC on BBBY. It normally does not trade very well, very light on volume, but when you do have news behind it, and then we're pointing out some of the things that can make a difference today, like the short flow in percentage here, that's very high. So you could possibly get a nice little squeeze and get the momentum going in one direction, right? So we'll have to see. Again, we have to wait for that setup. We can't just anticipate it, you
When
know?
BBBY has news, it often trades very well. On a
Yeah.
day-to-day basis, it's not a good trading stock. I mean, some of those, like an Apple, you can trade nearly every day. A Tesla, you can trade nearly every day. BBBY doesn't fall into that, but when it has earnings or other news, it definitely can trade well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, well, top of our list this morning, we'll keep it on here. Looking good right now, pre-market, good volume, 1.9, up 18%. NKLA, what we have going on here? This is up 11.8 right now. Pre-market is looking all right at 1.4 million shares traded. I like this consolidation we're seeing here on NKLA. So I'm not sure, has any positive news come out on Norm clearing up some of the stuff that's behind this company?
Uh, no, other than sexual assault allegations, and well, yes and no. I mean, yeah, obviously they've had their issues with the fraud call out by Hindenburg, SEC looking into them. Two sexual assault allegations on the founder that stepped down from the company. It's definitely got a lot of negatives going on with it. Right before all that came out, there was an announcement by GM that they were partnering on some stuff, and there was
Yeah.
a deal that they were working through. And apparently that is still possible. So, and it
Okay.
might actually be increased.
Hmm.
That's come out in the last couple of days. So I think that's what's buoyed this a little bit and kept some money going back into it. Is people thinking that a company as large as GM, is going to be doing their due diligence in order
Yeah.
to execute a multi-billion-dollar transaction and partnership with somebody. So
Yeah, that could definitely give them a nice little boost, which we're seeing that now. Yeah, if GM pulls the trigger, this is when all will go to hell here. But if they're still in it, that could be interesting. And again, like you mentioned, you would think GM would do their due diligence to make sure they're not getting in bed with something that's going to come and bite them later down the line. So NKLA guys looking good. I like the consolidation. I like the pre-market action this morning. We'll keep it on our secondary list for now. We'll see if we can move it up as we go. PLL, this is a low flow stock that was again doing some crazy stuff the last couple of days.
looks
Nothing
like
good to see here.
garbage today.
Let's get away from this. I don't even know why this thing is coming up here. 7.7 million shares float there. STM is a foreign stock, does not trade very well. Pre-market action, you can see now how bad this is. You can see on the daily, pretty choppy for the most part. DKNG, this one traded amazing yesterday. I'm going to keep it on my top list. Another one that was pretty good. It surprised me how clean it was. What a great continuation we got out of this one. Their daily starting to set up pretty nice. I mean, this is probably becoming one of the stocks that we're going to be watching for some time if they continue to trade like this. Great pre-market action right now, 600,000, up almost 5% on our list for sure this morning. TRIL, nothing good here, guys. We'll skip on this. A couple of block trades creating a 254. So nothing good there. NCLH, this one light on volume. Again, I know you're seeing 255, but for the most part, these travel companies trade very heavily on volume. If you look at their daily chart here, you're going to see 37, 40 million almost on every single day here, even when they're not in play. And when they are in play, you're going to see some very huge volume hitting over 100 million shares traded. So when you see 255 in the pre-market on NCLH, it's not all that great. And CCL on here, CCL is down here with 322. It's not all that exciting. Opposed to when you see, 1.2, and better on these type of stocks. So for the most part, as far as technicals, I'm not seeing anything great, Norm. I don't know if you have any news. Or it's just kind of moving with the market a little bit here on the travel sector. So I'm not gonna add them right now. I'm just gonna put them on the side. You know what? Maybe we'll put CCL as a possible, just in case things get going in one direction. We have that ready to go.
This is
Um,
on stimulus talks and possible bailout stuff for
yeah.
those industries being still hit by COVID.
Okay. So we'll just keep CCL for now, guys. LAC. I know this was up before in our list. Not
I didn't
looking
think they
great,
were
guys.
playing. I thought it's
Yeah, they're definitely out
The
of it. That's
Lakers
for
won,
sure.
right? I mean, there
Lakers
aren't two
won.
LA teams in.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Lakers won, baby. TRI, we looked at TRIL, we looked at NCLH, we looked at. Plug is a horrible stock. We're not going to spend time on it. BA, what do we have going on here with BA? How did it trade yesterday? Yeah, good stuff on BA yesterday. I had it on my secondary, I believe. But I didn't really watch it. So today we got a 325,000. It is up 2.8. Yeah, it might be worth watching. I like their daily though. Their daily is nice here, guys. Pretty strong. Couple of 2 days here between last weekend, this week. Nice consolidation. We keep banging our heads against this 172 here. That's been an area of resistance and support in the past couple of 2 3 months. I like what I'm seeing with BA. Let's put it on here. Let's put BA there.
Hey, Carlos.
Yes.
A couple people on YouTube are saying our sound is real low over there. Is there a way to turn that up a little bit?
Let's see if we could do that. Let's push these levelers up here. Okay, hopefully that is better. Yeah, I pushed it up all the way up, so hopefully that does the job there. But hopefully it's not distorted. If it's distorted, please let me know. Um, all right, so we have Tesla here. So Tesla this morning, what do we have? Oh, maybe it's this game that I turned down. Hold on a second. I'm not sure if that's up or down. All right, hopefully that's better, guys. All right, so Tesla right now, no, that's distorted. I can see the red line. There we go. So Tesla, again, great pre-market action at the moment. I've been keeping Tesla off my list though. And again, for me, it's been difficult to trade. I do like the pre-market action this morning. It's got some good volume. I do like the daily as well. You know, you could possible breakout here, so it's worth watching. But I probably won't keep it on my personal list to watch this morning. PSTG, this one right now, what do we have here? Horrible. Let's skip on this. NUAN, also horrible. We'll skip on that. See, it's a lot of stuff on here, but not a lot looking great. NEO's worth watching. After such a great day yesterday, I think this is worth keeping an eye on. Let's throw that in there. United Airlines coming up. Airlines are up slightly, about 2% for the most part. I'm going to throw United Airlines here because I do like that stock. American Airlines has way more volume, but still at 1.5. Might be worth watching American Airlines as well as a possible, just in case these things are going to get going. It's a lot of green today here, so we'll see how that's going to continue. All right, let's take a look at SPI. This is a low flow stock that was active a couple of days ago. Now it's not doing anything. We'll skip on this. PAR, another low flow stock sitting at 16 million shares flow. Also not a great pre-market action. This doesn't look like anything you want to be involved in when you're looking at that type of float. SURF, surf is not surfing any high waves here. Let's move something else. IMXI. This one, no, not doing good. Skip on this. SRNE, do we have anything good here? SRNE down 3.1. You know what? Maybe. It could be a good possible. It's not great, but it is, it is down quite a bit. You do have some good volume here as well. I like the way the daily is kind of getting a rejection of 12 here. Let's see what happens with this. NETE, this one for the most part, not doing anything great, guys. I'm not seeing anything all that exciting here on this one this morning. So, all right, let's make some room here. What do you guys have? Norm, what do you like this morning?
I want to answer a couple of questions
Yeah,
before
let's
we
go for
dive
it.
into that because a couple of people have asked and our list isn't too long, so it shouldn't be too bad to get some levels going.
Yeah, we got
So
time.
somebody asked about short float and what short float is, what's a high short float. So you have the float. A company has outstanding shares, which is the number of total shares in the company. Let's say that's 100 million, just a round number. Only a certain percentage of that is actually traded on the public markets. The rest of them are held in different ways by the company and aren't publicly traded. So let's say that's 50 million. So if you had, that would mean that it's got a, when we talk about float or low float, it's not the total shares, it's what's being traded on the market, which would be the 50 million. So then let's say that company has had some distress and you've got a number of big, funds, hedge funds, maybe shorting it. So let's say 25 million of the 50 million shares float are held short overnight. That would be a 50% short float. That means 50% of the total total float is being held short. It's reported twice a month. It's reported on the 15th and the last trading day of the month. And then those are reported by brokers on those 2 days, and it's actually quite a bit after that is released. I think it's like 11 calendar days that usually comes out. So just know there's a lag in those numbers. So then a short squeeze, hopefully you guys are following this for those that asked. Short squeeze happens when there's a very high percentage of shares held short. Generally, it's triggered by something that generally it's triggered by an event such as this BBBY that all these people thought the company was just going down, 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 and they report something good, and all of a sudden the shares pop. And what happens is as you know, if you know about shorting, uh, technically, if you go long on something, you can only lose the amount of money you have invested in it. Technically, you can lose an infinite amount of money on a short because it can go up forever. So that causes everybody to run for the exits, buying shares to cover their short position, therefore causing the stock price to go higher and higher, a domino effect with other shorts being forced to cover their positions, driving the cost higher and higher. If you want to look up a classic short squeeze, the biggest one in history, and study it, just Google Volkswagen short squeeze. It was not in the U.S. markets, but that really doesn't matter for the technicals of the whole thing. So just Volkswagen, Porsche got involved in a deal. There was a very high short interest, and the stock chart is like something you've never seen before. So
Yeah.
I hope that answers you guys' questions.
Excellent. Thanks, Norm. Yeah, so that's why BBBY makes it so interesting today because we're seeing, some of that with that 75%. So looking forward to see how that's going to open up. All right, with that said, guys, let's see what you guys like this morning. I'm going to start, I'm not going to scroll too back. We'll start with Edwin here. So we'll start with Edwin, and I know I'll look at AMD in a couple of seconds here. Apple at the moment, good pre-market action, guys. Again, every day Apple's 1.5 and better as far as volume. Pre-market action looks good. They had a good day yesterday, very clean day yesterday. I like their day this morning. Apple is worth putting on this list. How come it was not on our gapping up list? It's only up 1.7. Okay. Let's look at AMD. It's another one that was thrown out in the chat. AMD's got a great daily as well. Pre-market action could be better. I would like to see more activity on it. How did it trade yesterday? Yeah, yesterday it was okay. At the open looks a little rough here actually. And then it does try to break out nicely, but these pullbacks to the moving averages are pretty deep here. So it seemed okay, but right now I don't know. The volume on it doesn't look great. Could be, but we know this stock, guys. We know AMD. We know that if AMD hits their scans, we're gonna be looking at it. We know somebody in the chat room like Peter is gonna be looking at AMD. Actually, he already put his watch list. He has AMD already on there, and he has a. Are we surprised? I'm like, no, we're
Do
not
you even need
surprised.
to?
You
Do you
know.
even need to say that?
I don't even need to say that exactly. So, if we'll rely on him to call something out, and then we'll look at it. But right now is not all that great for the most part. All right, let's see what else we have. So that's AMD, that's Apple. Apple is good. Where we left off here, ENLV. ENLV. What kind of stock is this? So we're getting up 66%. That already doesn't give me a good hopes for this one. ENLV. Float, we're looking at 7.5. So actually, it's got volume for a low flow stock. This is the one in play for today. It's got some volume. I won't be watching it, guys. I'm just not a low flow trader, but we can add it on here for the low flow team. Some guys like Brian will be watching this and they'll call out plays. But notice how Brian trades this stock, right? He will sit and wait for the right opportunity for the setup to come to appear, right? You don't start stabbing at this thing, hoping for it to go in the direction that's moving. You start doing that, and you're gonna be in a lot of trouble there. All right, let's head down D-Dog. D-Dog today, yeah, not a whole lot of volume. Had a big day yesterday, breaking out nicely. I wish we would have had this on our list. Beautiful breakout here yesterday. Oh wow, look how this breakout actually happened. So out of nowhere here around 11 o'clock, possibly some news, right? It's the only time you get these type of moves here.
Yeah, they announced a partnership.
Oh yeah, this is
Midday.
beautiful breakout. So possible continuation today, but I'm not seeing a whole lot as far as volume for the most part. It's funny. Look at the possible partnership and look when they do it, Norm. Right when this daily looks like it's ready to break out, right? It's like this thing is almost planned. I don't know. Um, at Roku, let's take a look at that. Roku here this morning. I like the daily on Roku, guys. And again, I always like Roku, so I'm gonna keep it as a big possible here. I do like the daily for a possible breakout. Not much volume, but again, we know that does not mean anything for Roku at all. Let's head down here. ASAN. Uh, what is this? Recent IPO. So recent IPO, not a whole lot of data here right now. Pre-market looks very active for an IPO, down 1.5.
IPO'd yesterday, didn't it?
Yeah, IPO yesterday. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is IPO. How did it trade yesterday? And not much activity. Is this
A
yesterday
few
here?
people in here. I think Jared traded that yesterday, but I'm not 100%.
Nice.
I think a few people in here did.
Nice. So again, I won't add it to our list, but if you do like trading IPOs, if it is in your trade book, right, definitely add this one to your list. See what it does today. No shares for shorts right now, but it's got good volume and down 1.7. All right, let's head down. What do we have here? Sorry, guys, if I missed this. A lot of comments between the ticker. So I'm just going to go down to WKHS. What do we have here? This is up 1.1, 560,000. Was red this morning, kind of crawled out of that. So pretty interesting situation here, pre-market wise. So yeah, worth watching. I think Workhorse is a good one. Let's put that on there. We'll fine tune that a little bit. DKNG we do have, guys. That's on our list. This thing is trading very nice as pre-market. I mean, it doesn't get better than this. Top one on our list today. All right. With that said, let's take a look at YouTube. What do we have here, guys? PLTR. We'll start there.
IPO'd yesterday as well.
IPO yesterday. PLTR. Very active, 5.4 million right now. IPO yesterday. Again, no shares for sure. So I won't be watching it, but if you're into trading IPOs, this is actually a better one than the other one. It has a lot more volume, a nice clean pre-market action there. All right, what else do we have here? PLTR, WKHS we have. Walmart, let's take a look. What is Walmart doing? Not a whole lot of volume on Walmart. Again, this stock I usually trade only when they have some kind of news or the market's doing something out of the norm here. But you can see the dailies got a good support here around 137.50. We had a good day yesterday, possible breakout. I just don't know if they have the juice to do it on their own without any type of news. That's my thing, or without the SPY moving heavily in one direction. D-Dog, we looked at BABA, possible continuation. Yes, I agree. Big day yesterday. They're up another almost 1% this morning. But again, I think some of the stuff we have here looks just a little bit better than BABA this morning. All right, guys, I think we cover most of it. DKNG, we have Apple. Yeah, Apple is great. Apple's great pre-market action. LAC, no, we looked at that. I didn't like what I saw here. Again, pre-market action is really all over the place, so not good there. Disney, no, very light in pre-market action. Nothing happening. Only 18,000 shares. And then last one, guys, BYND. What is happening here? BYND, no activity. Pretty light right now for BYND, so not much going on. BBPR. Okay, we'll do one more. BBPR. Yeah, nothing happening there. No volume, no activity. It looks like something's happening here in the daily, but this type of stock doesn't get a whole lot of volume, so just be careful with this one. All right, guys, let's go to our community announcements. We'll come back and fine tune this list.
All right, guys. Mark Randall. I have not had a chance. I got to tell you, yesterday I was caught off guard. I had no idea Mark Randall was supposed to be on with us. Carlos, you had spoken to him, but hadn't heard from him in a couple of days. Didn't know he was going to show up. So when you said special guest, I thought we were having cats or something on just a random Wednesday. I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm muted. I've got my screen turned off like I usually do when you start going through levels and we get out of announcements. And then he couldn't hear you. And all of a sudden I'm on the spot. I'm like, so anyway, so thank you for sticking with me on that. It was a lot of fun. I have not had a chance to see his webinar yet from last night. Should be up today, but I can't wait to see it. Unfortunately, now it's about time I put my kid to bed in the success webinar hours, and I don't get a chance to watch them live very often. So that should be up today. Next week is Eamon. That's a special time, 5 p.m. Eastern, because of his time zone. He's going to be talking about developing a trade book for becoming a consistently profitable trader. Nada's webinar is up, and then next week we're going to have another town hall with Dr. Katz. He'll be talking about working through overtrading with a couple of members of the community. I was very well received last time, so we will continue to do some of those as long as we have willing participants. All right, member trade of the day, trade of the week, guys. We're giving on a top of the line iPhone every single week. Here are the rules how to do it. Take a screenshot of your best trade of the day. Mark it up. Entries, exit, strategy, ideas, thoughts. Why, everything involved there that you can. Clean, clear picture. Post it on Twitter. Tag at Bearbull Traders, at MikeB_BBT, and at NormBBT. Use hashtags BBT Family, Day Trading, and Stock Market. Winner will be announced in the closing bell show for the day. And then we will take those for the week, and the whole team will will vote on them over the weekend. That'll be announced on Monday. The winner of the trade of the week has to do a couple of things. Rules are in the forum, and a link is above in order to claim the iPhone. Two other things here, Christian. So we have spent months, and I want to shout out to Ryan. And Lee, who you guys don't see very often in here, but are a big part of this team. And Lee's relatively new, but she's been doing some amazing things to the websites and everything else. They've worked very, very hard on putting a learning management system in place. So that has replaced the old education center. Things have changed around. There might be a glitch or two. That's why you're having an issue finding some of these success webinars, just because that's all changed. So anyway, you should be able to find that, and thank the two of them very, very much for the hard work they have put into that project. I think it'll be very valuable, very helpful to members. You'll be able to track your progress and such a lot better. The other thing is, and I'll be very quick here, if you're on YouTube, we sincerely appreciate it if you hit that like button. It really helps the show. If you're watching us on YouTube and haven't been in the chat, you can do so at a discount. Use the promo code premarket24. That'll get you a discount off 7 calendar days, 5 trading days. And Carlos's onboarding class Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, every week live. Doesn't auto-renew or turn into anything else. And if you looking to become a lifetime member, use the promo code FALL35 for 35% off.
All right, thank you, Norm. All right, guys, with that said, we just talked about how you can join the member trade of the day. So here is the winner for yesterday. This goes to, I don't have their name, but I have their Twitter, as you wish, 133, I believe. So congrats on a beautiful trade here on AMD, guys. I mean, you can see it here. We talked about AMD earlier in the show. That's one of the cleanest trades we had yesterday. Beautiful ABCD pattern. On the 5, and just great continuation, breaking out of some really key levels here that he does have market. He has his 114 there. I think it was the pre-market high. He has the high of the day there. Just a lot of stuff going on there. So he got in, he added, and then look how great he partialed here, right? He was very patient, waiting almost every time a new high is created and taking some off then. So really good stuff there. Congrats, man. Good luck on winning that iPhone at next week when we announce it. All right, let's get to this list. Let's start over. I see a lot of people throwing out VVPR, but guys, I'm looking at it. There's really nothing great about the stock right now as far as pre-market action. The volume is very light, so unless something is going to explode, I know the daily looks like a possible breakout here, but you need volume, and this one doesn't have it. Also, let's just check the flow, because I saw so many people throwing this one out. It's a 4 million shares flow. So it's very low flow stock. Again, you need some really good volume to get this going and some clean price action. So we're going to skip that one for now. All right, let's start with BBBY. Starting to look pretty good. Let's hope it does not get too extended here in the pre-market, guys. High at the moment. I'm not going to put a lot of weight into this bar here. As we know, these are transactions being posted. But I do like this level here on the 5 minute. I'm going to mark this down over at 18. You can see a couple of candles hitting that. Also, you got a little bit of consolidation at support as well. And now we're breaking out of that 18.05, $18 range there. Pre-market high, let's wait for a little bit. Let's see where we go from here. Are we going to break out higher or come back down? We'll come back to it and mark that level. Now, as far as the daily, you have a nice big gap all the way down to 1547 here, which is the highs from the last 2-3 trading days or so. Let's go over here, going back to see when it's the last time we were up in this price range. It's going to be around December here, right in here. So we're going to mark some levels. Nice area of resistance right here around 17. And we are seeing, not see, when you mark 17 on this daily, look at the pre-market. You are seeing some resistance over at 17 as well, right? So a couple of candles hitting that 1763 to be exact. So let's move back. I want to get some levels towards the top here because the stock is looking very strong today. We might be hitting some of these high levels that we had here going back to last year. We have a pretty good level all the way up at 1959. So I'm going to mark that now. Price action really around the 19 at the moment. Let's go back and see what else we have. One more level above that because again, you got that nice 70% short interest. That could create a lot of movement, guys. We're talking about this, right? So let's see. In here, going back to 2018 now, I do like this area of resistance right over here. A couple of candles hitting that very nicely, 2046. And above that, 2141 looking really good as far as levels. So we got some pretty good levels here, guys. Let's see if this momentum is going to continue. 2.8 million shares traded right now. This stock is on fire. All right, DKNG, high of the pre-market, we're getting a little bit of a rejection there at 62.31, so that's good. Towards the bottom, you have this beautiful, this all-time high, by the way, guys. You don't have any more levels above this. Below that, you have the highs from the last two trading days, creating a great area of support now. The pre-market high is very close to that. So again, not a whole lot of levels to mark down on this one, DKNG. But on the 5, though, I do want to mark this level here. The reason for that is because you are seeing a nice breakout. It comes back and uses that as support right with the VWAP. It's at 61.37. So let's see, that's going to play an important part today. I think it might, as we don't have any other levels to go off on in regards to the daily. So let's go to BA. BA next. Right now, pre-market action again could be better. Had a great trading day yesterday. As far as high of the pre-market, we're looking at 170.20, so we'll throw that on there. Above that, right below this area, which is the high from yesterday, which is also, if you zoom out of this daily, look how great that level is, right? Just right over here, you see the red line. It's been support for a very, very long time. Between June and August, this has been support, right? Then between June and July, excuse me. Then between August and almost well, mid-August, you had a little bit of resistance and then support again between early August all the way down to September. So again, this level here is important for this stock. As you can see, there's a lot of transactions happening around that price target. So can we get above that today is the question. Let's find some levels in here. We have a good one at 175.68 and also at 181.01, two really good levels based on this daily here. So let's see what happens there. Towards the bottom, guys, highs and lows from the last two trading days got you covered. Here is Tesla for the most part. Towards the bottom, again, you got your highs and lows, previous day close. You have some moving averages on here as well. So I don't think you need to add anything else there. You don't want to get that too congested. Now, as far as pre-market high, we got some levels here. I do like 4165, sorry, 441.65. That's a good one there. I know we popped up a little bit above this, but you can tell we had a lot of touches over at this 441.65. So I want to have that on there. Towards the bottom, pre-market low. Again, you have very early on this morning, 433 is your pre-market low. But again, this level here cost me a little bit more. This 438.11. Let's see what it does around there. Again, here, I don't want to put too much weight on that. You also have the low from 2 days ago in there already at 434. So that's covered for you there. If we decide to go north here, we do have a level over at 552.97, and then over here at around 471.77. So we'll see. We'll see how Tesla does today. Again, it can be a hit or miss on that one. Neo had an amazing day yesterday. Let's remove some of these levels, get a clean slate here. So as far as pre-market high, we do have 28.80, which is right up here. But again, I think this level is more important. This 21.872. A lot of touches there, guys. So I'm going to mark that down instead. Above that high from yesterday's got you covered there. Then towards the bottom, the pre-market low, you see a lot of touches at 21.45 or so, 21.50-ish. So again, a lot of touches on that pre-market low level. I'm going to mark that down. And then towards the bottom, plenty of support happening here. If we lose the low from yesterday, we're heading down. The next level, not heading down, but the next level will be 1989. So we'll see. Good action right now. 1.5. It is up almost 2% for the most part. This is similar action to what it had a couple of days ago. And again, this stock gets the volume. If it picks a direction, it can trade very, very nicely. All right, so here we have Apple setting up a high of the day over at 118.11. So I'm going to mark that down. Above that, we have a level at 120.20. and another one right over here over at 124.25. Great area of resistance and great support here for these 5 days that we had before we had this little pop here over to 138. So that's good there. Then towards the bottom, guys, low of the pre-market over at 116.51. And then below that, previous day close, and then tons of other levels down towards the bottom there. So you got a lot going on for Apple this morning. Again, great pre-market action up 1.4 right now. Here's Workhorse. Now, Workhorse pre-market action is not looking all that great. I do like the fact that they were red this morning. With not great volume, they were able to climb up to into the green here. But now this is very choppy trading at the moment. High of the pre-market sitting at 25.75. I might move this down to a possible. And then above that, the levels we have from yesterday are working out pretty good. Highs and lows from the last two trading days, 26.95. Above that, we have 29.71 and 30.93. Now, towards the bottom, if we're going to lose some of this level, we have a great support right where that previous day closes and also where the low from yesterday. That's a good area of support for the stock. You see a couple of days testing that. If you were to lose that, we have another great area down here at around 23.95 as well. So I'm going to mark that there. Great resistance there in these couple of 4 days we had before we had a beautiful breakout there. And then your low of your pre-market is all the way at 22.04. So again, really down there. Again, we climbed up with some pretty light volume within the climb here. And again, a lot of volume being tracked here and also on this candle here as well. This one alone has 142. So let's see what's going to happen. Interesting pre-market. I'm not going to say it's great, but it is interesting. Let's see if this is going to break out one way or the other. All right, that is what we have. As far as possibles, we have Roku starting to look pretty good if we can get some more volume here. Also possible breakout, so I'm going to keep a close eye on this one. SRNE is decent as well. You have this one's down 4%. NKLA has good volume. I like the consolidation on here. So if you do like the stock, have that one on your radar. And then I have CCL, UAL, and also American Airlines. American Airlines starting to look really nice, actually. Dropping here, good pre-market action. That volume is starting to get to where we like, above that 1 million shares traded. So we'll see. I got us a possible now, but it's starting to look pretty good. I'm going to throw it a little bit higher so I don't lose track of it. Good volume there. All right, let's see what our moderators have today, guys. Let's start with Peter. He's watching BBY, Apple, and his usual. In the secondary, he has NKLA and PLTR. PLTR is a IPO yesterday. So we'll see how that plays out today. John is watching his high of day breakouts, looking for Baba, Netflix, Apple, and Microsoft. Thor has BBY, NKLA, DKNG, which is trading very well recently, guys. BA and CCL. Tiffany has BBY, DKNG, Apple. Secondary list BA and Tesla. Mike has the break of high scanners, Baba, and Facebook. Brian today will be watching BBBY, NKLA, Workhorse, DKNG, SRNE, and SLDB for fun. Eamon just came in now with his BBBY, and he's also watching DKNG and PENN. So pretty good watch list today, guys. It looks better than it did yesterday, although yesterday it didn't look great and it turned out to be an amazing day. So hopefully the same happens today. 9:17, guys, so 13 minutes to the market open. Thank you so much for joining the pre-market show, and I will see you guys tomorrow to close out the week. So have a great first day of the month, guys. Clean slate, let's trade well. Make sure you're trading on your trade book and following your edge. Whatever happened last month doesn't matter. This is a new month. Your plan now is to focus and do better than you did last month. So take care, guys, and I'll talk to you guys later.